because we're entering the age of AI. We're going to have self-driving cars and trucks in 5 to 10 years. 30% of malls are going to close in the next 4 years thanks to Amazon. 2.5 million call center workers in the U.S. are going to get replaced by AI. There was a study in The Guardian that said the median African-American household net worth is going to be 0 by 2053, like in 34 years. You guys see that study?
No.
Well, yeah, you should look it up. And so why are they forecasting that African-American net worth is going to go to 0? It's because of this economic tidal wave that is coming. This economic tidal wave is going to wipe out many working-class jobs. And it's going to be the equivalent of a natural disaster. And we know what happens in a natural disaster. Who suffers? Poor people who don't have the resources, people of color, and the same thing's going to happen in this. So.
Call Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash, the honors to the apostles of Great Millstone. My name's Kanawak from GMS Toronto. Doing this lesson. Today is March the 13th. This is just a quick lesson in regards to this guy, Andrew Yang. He was on the Breakfast Club. He did an interview on the Breakfast Club, basically stating that Slovakia. Yeah, he did an interview on the Breakfast Club, basically stating that black people, or so-called black people, by the year 2034 comes, which is, I believe, 16 years from now, basically. Or basically that black people will be out of jobs. There won't be any economic growth and so on, which and that's the plans of the elites. And how does he know all this? Because he's obviously a insider, who has inside information on the future agenda of the world and on the nations, man. And the main agenda is to get rid of us as a nation, man. And we're coming to the time of Jacob's trouble, where pretty much they're gonna try and do away with our nation, man, and make us slaves again. That's ultimately what they want to do. They ultimately want to destroy us, and remove whatever so-called freedom we have as a nation, not just we so-called blacks, but you natives, so-called, and you Latinos as well, man. That's the goal, and this is what they discuss at the United Nations, their Bilderberg meetings. What else? Their Council for Foreign Relations, all these different, the Trilateral Commission, all the different groups, G20 and all these stuff, all these meetings that they have. The ultimate plan is to destroy us as a people, because we as a nation, we don't have any seat, in these meetings. So who's there to represent us? So everything's systematic. Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So yeah, so we're not gonna save ourselves out of this trouble that we're gonna be in. Only the Lord, Yahweh Yahushai, is gonna save us, man. We're not gonna be saved out of this by ourselves. We're gonna need divine intervention, because the power that these people amassed on earth is much greater than what we can, what we could do. We're not able to fight any armies. We don't possess any mass weapons of destruction and all these stuff, man. Ultimately what they want to do, they want to use all these weapons against us and destroy us as a people. Whether it's disease warfare, actual weapons itself, they ultimately want to destroy us, man, and get rid of us as a nation, man, via concentration camps, and all these things, man. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it, even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord of hosts, I will break his yoke from off thy neck, and I will burst thy bond, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him. Yeah, so people like this, you Moabites and all that, setting up shop in our neighborhoods, selling our people your dirty Chinese food, you know, selling our women all these hair products and all these things, having corner stores and all these things in our neighborhoods. All that's gonna come to an end, man. But they shall serve their Lord their power, and David their king, whom I will raise up unto them, man. And the house of David is gonna be set back up again. And King David is gonna be ruling again. And Yahweh Shai is gonna be, um, it's gonna be over David, and you're gonna have David, then you're gonna have you're gonna have the 12, the 12 apostles, then you're gonna have the 144,000. That's gonna be the government. Then you're gonna have the Most High, who's head over everything. Therefore fear thou, not. Therefore fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, said the Lord. Neither be dismayed, O Israel. For lo, I will save thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And the Jacob shall return, and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. And this prophecy hasn't been fulfilled. Because right now, if those were just real Jews in the land of Israel, there'd be no fear right now of the Israelite. There'd be no war. And all the Jews, so-called all the Jews, would be in that land, or all the Israelites. And you guys don't fulfill that prophecy, because right now there's a war in that land. Where's King David, man? Where's the house of David? And all these things, man. There's a war on this earth still. When the Lord comes back, there's gonna be peace on earth, man. So that right there X's you guys out as imposters. So Psalms 83, and let's get this, because this is a confederation against the Israelites. Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O the Most High. For lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden one. So what he's basically explaining, this Andrew Yang guy, he's saying that there's gonna be all kind of new technology out, and there's gonna be no need for working class, because who really makes this whole society run? The working class, which is mainly of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We're the working class. We do all the dirty and hard jobs, man. So really, they've been planning, ways how to get rid of that, where where they're not gonna need physical labor, and they're gonna have machines doing all that stuff. So thus, once they get rid of the working class, they're able to pretty much get rid of us. It goes hand in hand. It says they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more remembrance. Because what does Israel mean? The prince of the power. They know that we're the Israelites. So the ultimate thing is to get rid of us, because they feel like, okay, if they get rid of God's chosen people, then they could rule the earth, in wickedness forever. And pretty much, if they destroy us, that they're gonna stay in power. So that's what they want to try. That's why Psalms 2 says, why did the heathen rage and imagine a vain thing, man? So the Lord's gonna get rid of them, man, because of these wicked imaginations, man. For they have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee. And that's why they have the council, and that's why they have the United Nations, which was known before as the League of Nations, man. What's a confederation? A league or alliance, right? So before United Nations was known as United Nations, it was known as the League of Nations. The tabernacles of Edom, which are you so-called white people, and the Ishmaelites, which are you Arabs today, Moab, which are you Chinese, you know, over there in Asia, and the Hagarenes, Gabal and Aban, you know, which are you so-called Japanese, and Amalek, which are you so-called Jews, man, and the Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre, which are, you know, you Palestinians, or Slovakia, not the Palestinians, you damn Hamites, who once dwelled in that land of Philistines, you know, when you're known, because the Philistines were Canaanites, you know, who dwelt in that land, you know. Ashur also joined with them, and they have helped the children a lot. You know, Ashur, I believe, is talking about the Assyrians, you know, which would be the people of Iraq and, you know, in that region today. You know, so the Most High is he's gonna destroy you nations, man, because of these vain imaginations that you guys have been having against his people, man. You know, and yeah, man. So these people are being bold, man, coming out, because Power 105.1 or whatever the station is, that the Breakfast Club is on. You know, this is a very popular station, and mainly our people listen to it, the Israelites. You know, and so for him to publicly say that, man, that means that they don't give a shit. You know, and their agenda is being fulfilled, and this is what they plan on doing, but it's not gonna work. So with that, I'd like to say, Kahallah, Yahweh Bashim Shai, Bashim Kakodash, double honor to the apostle of great millstone. Peace and blessing to all the brothers out there doing the works in truth and sincerity. So with that, I'd like to say Shalom and Kwam Yasharallah.